Hi students, how are you? Today we are going to discuss about motion-based straight line. That means one-dimensional motion of a body, in which we see some important points in it. Okay. First, we have to know about the definition of distance and displacement. Right. What is distance first? It is nothing but total length of the actual path covered by a body. Suppose a person travels 3 kilometers towards east from A to B and turn to north of 4 kilometers up to C. Now distance covered by him is AB plus BC here. Total length of the path. That means AB plus BC. That is equal 3 plus 4 is equal 7 kilometers here. So total distance travelled by him is 7 kilometers here. Next, what is displacement? Displacement is nothing but the shortest length between initial and final points. Suppose in this case, starting point is A, final point is C. Now join these 2 points with a straight line which gives displacement. That means here AC is displacement. That means displacement is once again shortest length between initial and final positions of a body. Here AC is the displacement. That is, you know, by using Pythagoras theorem we get 5 kilometers here. Here which one greater one? Yes, distance is greater than displacement. Distance is greater than displacement. Is this statement true at any time? No, because suppose the body moves along a straight line, then here the distance is same as that of the displacement. In such case, both are same. That's why we write distance is greater than or equal to displacement. Just keep in your mind in this statement. Okay. Now comparison between distance and displacement. Distance is a scalar quantity because here it has so many directions. That's why it is known as scalar. What about displacement? It has a particular direction, AC. It has a particular direction. So it is a vector quantity. Here SI units or CS units are same for both. That is, SI unit is meter, CS unit is centimeter. This is about distance and displacement. Okay. Next we see speed and velocity. Speed and velocity. What is speed? What is velocity? You know, speed is the distance travelled by a body in 1 second. Velocity is the displacement of a body in 1 second. Okay, right now speed is distance travelled by time taken. Here velocity is displacement of a body by time taken. Here speed is scalar, velocity is vector. Okay, SI unit is meter per second, CS unit is centimeter per second for both. Okay, we have we have uniform speed or uniform velocity, non-uniform speed, and relative velocity. Now we have to discuss that one. First, uniform velocity. Uniform velocity means if the body travels equal displacements in equal intervals of time, however small these intervals may be, then the body is said to be in uniform velocity. Otherwise, it is moving with non-uniform velocity. And also discuss about average speed or average velocity. Average speed or average velocity. This is nothing but total distance by total time. Total distance by total time is nothing but average speed. This can be represented, average velocity is equal to s1 plus s2 plus s3 plus and so on by t1 plus t2 plus t3 plus and so on like this. Here s1, s2, s3 are distances covered. Corresponding time intervals are t1, t2, t3 and so on. Suppose some cases are there. Case 1 is, suppose the body travels with different velocities v1, v2 and so on with equal distances. That means s1 is equal to s2 is equal to s. Then what is the average velocity? We have to find this average velocity now. Okay, let us see case 1. Suppose the body covers with velocities v1, v2 and so on, and travel distances are same. Then what is the average velocity? Now we write this equation is in another form, s1 plus s2 plus s3 plus and so on by time is nothing but distance by speed. That's why t1 is equal to s1 by v1 plus s2 by v2 plus s3 by v3 plus and so on. Because here we write this equation in terms of s and v. So replace time terms with s and v. That's why average velocity is also in this form. Now applying this condition here, finally we get average velocity is equal to v1 v2 by v1 plus v2. Okay. Now see second case. Suppose the body travels with velocities v1, v2 with equal intervals of time. That means t1 is equal to t2 is equal to t. Then we get average velocity is equal to v1 plus v2 by t. These applications are very useful to practice MCET problems. Okay. Next, we have to discuss about relative velocity now. Relative velocity. Relative means comparison. Comparison. Here, what is relative velocity? The velocity of a body with respect to another body is known as relative velocity. Suppose two bodies are there. Their velocities are VA and VB. Suppose I want to know the velocity of A with respect to B. That can be written as VAB bar in the vector form. This is VA bar minus VB bar. So this is velocity of A with respect to B is written as VA bar minus VB bar. If you want to find velocity of B with respect to A, you write simply VBA bar. This is written as VB bar minus VA bar. This is the relative velocity. We write the magnitude form of this one now. That is VAB in the magnitude. This is equal to modulus of VA bar minus VB bar. This can be represented as root of VA square plus VB square minus 2 VA VB cos theta. Here theta is the angle between the directions of two bodies. Okay. Now let us see about acceleration. This is represented by a small letter A. What is acceleration? The rate of change of velocity of a body is known as acceleration. You know very well. Okay, so we write it. A is equal change in velocity by time taken. Change in velocity by time taken. This is acceleration. If there is a change in velocity in the body, there is some acceleration. It is also a vector quantity, and the SI unit is meter per second square. Suppose the body moves with uniform velocity, its acceleration becomes zero. Just keep in mind, a body moves with uniform velocity, then its acceleration becomes zero, because uniform velocity means there is no change in velocity. That's why the acceleration becomes zero. Okay. If a body moves with increasing velocity, suppose the velocity of a body increases, then it possesses positive acceleration. Velocity increases, then acceleration becomes positive. Suppose the body moves with decreasing velocity. If velocity decreases, then the body moves with negative acceleration. Negative acceleration is also known as deceleration or retardation. Okay. Now we have some important formulas. They are equations of motion of a body if it moves with uniform acceleration. These are very important equations in our physics. Equations of motion of a body if it moves with uniform acceleration. Uniform acceleration means the body covers equal changes of velocities in equal intervals of time. However small these intervals may be, then the body is said to have uniform acceleration. In such a case, the body completely moves along a straight line. Okay. The important equations are, everybody knows, they are, first one is V is equal to U plus AD. Second one, S is equal to UT plus half AD square. Third one, V square minus U square is equal to 2AS. Fourth one, SN is equal to U plus A of n minus 1. These are very important fundamental equations. When the body moves with uniform acceleration, then only we write or we derive these equations. So what are they? First one is V is equal to U plus AD. Second one is S is equal to UT plus half AD square. Third one is V square minus U square is equal to 2AS. And last one is Sn is equal to U plus A of n minus half. Here U and V are initial and final velocities. A means uniform acceleration. T is time taken, S is distance or displacement, and S and T is the distance traveled by a body in nth second. Okay. Okay. Next we see acceleration due to gravity. It is represented by small g. What is it? Suppose the acceleration is produced in a body due to the gravitational force of attraction, then the acceleration is known as acceleration due to gravity. It is represented by small g. Its value on earth is 9.8 meter per second square generally. It varies from place to place, but a particular location it remains constant, and it is a vector quantity. Acceleration is a vector, so that's why acceleration due to gravity also a vector quantity. It has a particular direction which is always towards the center of the earth, that means vertically downwards. Next, here g value may be positive or negative. Suppose the velocity increases, in such case g is positive. Velocity decreases, in such case g value negative. Suppose the body is moving in upward direction, then acceleration a is equal to taken as minus g. Here velocity gradually decreases. Suppose the body moves down, in such a case velocity gradually increases, so a is taken as plus g here. Okay, now write equations of motion in the case of freely falling body and vertically projected above a body. Here vertically projected upwards. In such case, initial velocity is there, u is equal to u, a is equal to minus g because velocity gradually decreases, s is equal to h, and t is equal to. All these are applied in equations of motion. They are v is equal to u plus at, s is equal to ut plus half ad square, v square minus v square is equal to 2as. In these equations, these values are applied now. Then we get some relations in the case of vertically projected above a body. While in the case of freely falling body, when the body releases, it moves down under the influence of gravitational force only. That body is known as freely falling body. In such case, initial velocity becomes 0 and velocity gradually increases. That's why a is equal to plus g, s is equal to h. All these are applied, these equations of motion. Then we get some relations here. These are freely falling body. Now we derive some relations and definitions. They are maximum height first. What we can see now, we have to discuss vertically projected above a body or one-dimensional motion of a body. In such case, first we derive maximum height. What is the definition of maximum height? The height at which the final velocity of a body becomes 0. So, what is maximum height? Suppose the body is projected vertically upwards, where at certain height the final velocity becomes 0. The height is known as maximum height. Here u is equal, initial velocity u is equal to u, a is equal to minus g, s is equal to maximum height, and where final velocity v is equal to 0. All these are substituted in the third equation of motion. V square minus v square is equal to 2as. We get finally h is equal to u square by 2g. Okay, right. Next we discuss time of ascent. Time of ascent. This can be represented by TA, T suffix on A. What is it? Suppose the body is projected vertically upwards. The time taken by a body to reach maximum height from its point of projection is known as time of ascent. Here we use first equation of motion. What is it? Yes, v is equal to u plus at. So the same values are substituted here. Then we get Ta is equal to u by g. Now we see time of descent. Time of descent. This is Td. So the time taken by a body to reach point of projection from maximum height is known as time of descent. It also derives u by g or root of 2h by g. Here h is the maximum height. So from these two relations we said Ta is equal to Td. That means time of ascent is equal to time of descent. Now we discuss time of flight. It is represented by capital T. It is nothing but sum of time of ascent and time of descent. That means the total time for which the body remains in air is known as time of flight. Here capital T is equal to 3a plus Td. We get finally 2u by g. Okay. Thank you.